Sometimes it's the very people who no one imagines anything of who do the things that no one can imagine.
Humanity does this to us.
Not if we show them a better path.
Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Take a look, and you'll see into your imagination.
We have to have the ontological wonder towards the ground of meaning.
And I'm doing a lot about the imaginal and ritual and how it's inherently bound up with rationality. And so the imaginal, again, I'll need a couple minutes. Okay. The imaginal is distinct from the imaginary. The imaginary is when we use imagery to take us away from perception and we're largely escaping from reality. This is I'm sort of integrating Corbin and Tolkien here. And the imaginal is when we use the imagination to enhance perception and help us to recover the depths of reality. There's a difference. So the imaginary is I can ask you, picture a sailboat in your mind, are its sails up? And you can say yes or no. Now here's the imaginal. I'm getting people to do Tai Chi, learn how to re-inhabit their bodies, recover their bodies. And I'm saying, when you're standing in Tai Chi, I say, stand as if your knees to your feet are in the mud of a river. They're sinking in. You're not skimming the surface. You're sinking in. From here to here is like flowing water. You want this to feel like flowing water. The way water has flexibility but force. And from here to here is like the air. You want it to feel as airy, as dissipated as possible. And people aren't forming mental pictures. They might, but they don't need to. What they're doing is they're reorienting their salience landscaping and their perspectival knowing so that they can start to perceive otherwise very subtle patterns in their body and interactions between body and mind so they can start to do Tai Chi properly. Does that work for what the imaginal is?
Yes.
Okay, and then the imaginal is not just vertical, it extends through time. So if you go into a university and you get the academics who are supposed to be the best, so that was some self-deprecating humor, and you give them really clear evidence and clear arguments that they should start saving for their retirement immediately, and they, yes, and that you give them chances to raise any objections they might have. Oh, no. And you come back in 6 months, and by the way, this is all empirically validated, experimental, right? You come back in 6 months and none of them are saving. It has to do with hyperbolic discounting. Now you do this. You say, I want you to imagine your future self as a family member that you love and you care about and you want to take care of. And I want you to really, do you see how you're using the imagination to actually realize a real relationship to your future self? And you come back 6 months. What you find is the people that do that start to save, and the more vividly they engage in the practice, the more they save. So the ability to pursue long-term goals and the aspiration to become more rational is itself a long-term goal, depends on the imaginal. Is that right? And so for me, part of the argument I'm making is that the imaginal, and when it's involved in that kind of serious play like in Tai Chi, is implicit ritual. So although we've lost explicit ritual, implicit ritual is everywhere, and but we need to bring it back, and when we properly reappreciate it, we see its deep interconnection with the broader notion of rationality. And thank you for mentioning that my notion is not Sam Harris's notion, right? Okay, so I'm saying all of that because this is my way of trying to articulate the spirit of finesse. Okay?
I like it.
Thank you. Now, so I hope you still, I hope you still want to keep talking though, because the point is, right, I'm not in a river when I'm doing the imaginal for enhancing the Tai Chi, but it allows me to actually perceive. It's a lens, if I can use that metaphor, that allows me to perceive things, real patterns that I otherwise couldn't see. And it seems to me that the finesse argument would be like that. Taking the personal lens allows me to see things about reality that I wouldn't otherwise see. But that isn't a grounds for attributing personhood to what I see.
Right. But it's also easy to know you're not in a river.
Right?
And it's very difficult to know the nature of this. This, to me, we keep getting back to this question. What in fact is the relational aspect of the nature of our existence?
Yes.
If you want to view paradise, simply look around and view it. Anything you want to do it. Want to change the world? There's nothing to it.
Hurry up, Violet! This way, Grandpa.